Hi guys, Rjpasini from Rjpasini-com, coming to you today to talk a little about receiving immediate action notifications from eBay. And I received one today, which you can see right over here. It's for September 16th, 2017. And it says over here, some of your listings require immediate update due to policy violation or active content usage. 290 of your listings contains contact information such as a phone number, email address, or web links, which is in violation of the listing policies. Non-compliant listings will soon be blocked. We found elements of active content in at least 174 of your listings. To improve buyer experience, active content such as JavaScript, form actions, etc. will not be rendered going forward. As a result, listings with active content might not display correctly to buyers. Now, a lot of people out there, sellers, especially as myself, would be very concerned about this, and I am concerned about it. I tried calling eBay up, and I was on the phone for at least 5 minutes or better. I don't know if a lot of these messages went out to a lot of sellers, or they're just overwhelmed over there at eBay. But I ended up hanging up and I said, you know what, let me see if I could correct this problem myself. But to dig further deeper into the situation, let's go to the beginning where it started off. First off, I use a program called Front Page 2002. It's a Microsoft program, and I use it to design my template. What it is, it's a web development program. Like I also use Serif Web Plus, Web X Plus 5, and that's what I use for my current web page, my website. But what happened was, now if you look, this is my template. This is my new updated template. There are some templates, if you look at my listings, have old ones and some are new. Some say best offers welcome, and then some say shop Rjpasini for great deals. I'm getting away from the best offers welcome because I might not want all my listings with best offers welcomed. Okay, I might not want this, so I kind of like updated my the description template here. But if you look in here in my and this is a template I use going forward. This is the new one I got, unless I change it again. You will look in here, you will not see any email addresses. Okay, if you look at it, you won't see any email addresses. You won't see any phone numbers. You won't see anything of the sort. Okay, now I will say this: when it comes to hyperlinks and active content, yes, I did spot that, being they brought it to my attention. So when I went back to my website, this template here, I hovered over here in United States Postal Service, PayPal, these two PayPal ones, and I did find that they did have an active hyperlink, but it wasn't, this particular one wasn't directed to United States Postal Service. It was directed to the free logos I used to embed into my listings. This one here, same thing, but this one, if I'm not mistaken, this one brought me to PayPal. Now, as we know, on eBay's website, which is fair, they do not want anybody drawing the business away from their platform, their selling platform. It's their baby. And it's like that old saying goes, my way or the highway. If you're not going to abide by the rules, then get off. You don't deserve to be there. So I want to be in compliance with them. And they're right. They're right, and I'm wrong. And what happened? I wasn't aware of it. Honest to God, I wasn't aware of that. What happened with that there? I didn't think about these would be active hyperlinks. These two here. An active hyperlink, as you know, when you put it in there, if you were to put an email address, a web address, whatever, if you did put that in your listings, which you're not allowed to, that's why you're not allowed to have emails. You're not allowed to do anything that's going to draw business away from eBay. That's just the way it works. That's their platform. If you want to do business like that, then you create your own website. I have my own website, but here's the thing. My website is hyperlinked to eBay's listings. Now, you're probably wondering, wait, how does that work? No, let me explain. What I do at my website is when you click on an item, it takes you to eBay's website. Okay, it takes you to eBay's website. Now, it takes you away from it. takes you to it. So on my website, I only have 4 items listed. So when you click one of those on, it takes you to eBay. Okay, I only have 4. Excuse me for a second. That afternoon coffee. So I'm not taking any business away from eBay. I'm drawing the business back to them. All it's doing is a big 360. It's going right back to them. Okay? And also, I am not putting any active hyperlinks to go to my website, because that would be, first of all, that'd be crazy for me to do that, because if I did that, it would go back. If I did put that in, which I wouldn't, and I know better to do that, it would go back to my website, and then in turn it would go back to eBay. So all it would be doing is big 360. I wouldn't do that. I'm not foolish enough to do something like that. I know that part. However, I wasn't aware that the one over here, this logo here, and this one over here, well, these 3 were active. I didn't know, honest, or else I wouldn't do it, because now I just create a lot of work myself. So unless I want to punish myself, I would leave the hyperlinks like that there and just grin and bear it. But now I got myself set up for a lot of work. So now that's where that part began, okay, with that there. All right, I'm at fault with that. I didn't know. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I really didn't know. Now you're probably saying, well, wait a minute, logos, you could use them. I typed over here, free logos, free USPS logos. Now, the way I understand it, unless I'm doing something wrong, I believe you could use these here. And that's all I did was I clicked this on, and I embedded it in my eBay, my template, okay? And I guess when I embedded in there, I didn't take the hyperlink out. That brings you to here, to this top here, okay? So if you were to take this right now, copy this image, this logo, and put it into your listing, and now if you don't remove the hyperlink, it becomes an active listing, active hyperlink. So you got to go in there, right-click it, and remove hyperlink properties. You got to remove it, get rid of it. And I believe that's what they're referring to as far as the links. So that's that part. Okay, so now we know that I have to go in there and all 290 and revamp each one of those one by one. Thank God I don't have thousands and thousands to do. It's going to take probably a long time to do it, but I have additional 20 some odd listings to increase today to put in. So I think what I was going to do is do my listings first, and then go back and take one at a time and go through it. The JavaScript one is pretty cut and dry. Now, here's the one with the JavaScript. Now, this here, it's a lot. It's 171 that has to be done. So what you do is this. Don't get upset, panicky, nervous. What you do is, this is what they tell you. They're telling you this is the type. This is the problem that's going on there. This is what they discovered. It's a JavaScript error. So what you do is you click it on. No need to get panicky or upset or worried. You go in there. It's not going to work with your listing. Now, see here. Now, you see this is active. You see the hand, when the hand comes on, if it's like that, that means it's not an active link. This is an active link. This is an active link. This ain't. This one is. Okay? This one, and this one. Now, when you go over here, now this is the same JavaScript. Now let's see what happens. Now, in order to make that correction, you got to revise your listing. So let's go revise your item. Click that on. And what's nice is eBay will help you correct it, from what I understand. Now, here you go over here. Now it says, we found the following active content in your listing, JavaScript. To make eBay more secure marketplace, we will hide all active content from the buyers in June. Okay. They got a little thing over here, a little response thing here. It says, help me fix it. Click it on. We found the following active content listing, JavaScript. Remove active content. Boom. That's simple. Your listing has been updated. 2 things. Don't forget to save it. Okay. Now, and don't forget to update your listing. Now, let me just see. Now, they removed it supposedly. Now, here's the video. Now, I don't know. They may have taken the video out. Well, the video's still there, so that part I don't understand. So let's see if they removed the active content. Remember that was the hand? That was the hand. And that one. See? They removed it. It's cut and dry. The most important thing is, though, folks, after you save it, update that listing. Update it. Because if you don't, it's still going to show out there. Now, what I'm going to do for my situation is I'm going to get all the JavaScript ones done first, because that seems pretty cut and dry. And then you got to go verbatim one by one. So now the next one goes to the Disney ones. Same thing. Got to revise it. Okay, you got to revise the item here. And the same thing when you revise. You're not going to send a message if you just scrolling. You got to revise it in order for it to pop up. There it is. Okay, help me fix it. They tell you what it is. Remove active content. Save it. Okay, and update. Make sure you update that listing. I just want to talk a little something too in regards to that there. I mean, that's the one part there. I think you guys got the gist of it. It's pretty cut and dry. This is for people who don't really familiar with it, or if you're a newbie and you're over concerned. It's like, oh my gosh, I got this immediate thing action of eBay. Am I in trouble? They're going to suspend my account. They're going to lock me out. Whatever. No, they're just giving you a heads up. This is what needs to be done. The ones that have the links in them, that has to be corrected. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That's got to be corrected, okay? So you need to take care of that. Yesterday or the day before, I had an item. I was going to do a separate video, but I wanted to just throw it in all together in regards to regarding buyers. Folks, we all make mistakes. We're all human. We make mistakes at the last minute. We're very spontaneous in some cases, where we want to have it, we buy it, we don't think about it. And what happened was I had a printer that has been listed on eBay almost a year. Almost a year. And you see over here these watches, so many watches I have for these things. I'm waiting for them to it's nice to have watches, but it's also nice to break into the piggy bank too, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's nice to make money at the same time. I'm not calling about that, but we're referring to that right now. But you see, I got watches on here, and they seem to be going up pretty much, not on a daily basis, but they're going up. I had a printer that had, I think, either 3 or 4 watches on it, and eventually I would think it was going to sell. Okay, what had happened was, and I'm going to see if I can get to that printer. I'll show you what I'm talking about. By buyers being spontaneous and making errors on their behalf, not doing their research, could hamper your business in a sense. You might say, how is that possible? Well, it could hamper your business when you come so close to selling something. Now people say, well, you could have watches for months there. It doesn't mean they're going to buy it. But if they're watching, I would think sooner or later they're going to come back and buy it. That's how I look at it. That's how I've been noticing it working for me. Okay, this printer right here had, I think, either 3 or 4 watches on it. I have best offer here. Now the buyer made a best offer lower than what I put it in for, and I accepted it. Within a matter of a minute or so, can you cancel the order out? Okay, I cancel the order out. I want to get ready to relist it again. Cost me 30 cents to relist it. I called eBay to see if they could waive that charge. They did. I relisted it. I had 3 watches on it, either 3 or 4 watches. They're gone. Now I got to start all over again. And let me tell you something. When you're in a situation like that, when you have people watching it, chances are, I'm not saying it's 100%, but the chances are somebody is going to probably want to buy that printer. If they're there watching, they're putting you on their watch list, they may just want to purchase that item. But here's the other thing though. It could also be another seller checking your stuff out to see if it sells. If you got that for that price, they're probably looking at your listing to make a price point, which I believe that could happen because Yours truly will do the same thing in cases. Okay? All right. Now you might say, well, all right, so what are you talking? You're contradicting yourself. Wait a minute. Here's the other flip side to that story. The buyer cancels, he makes an offer. I accept the offer. Within a minute or so, I get another second message from the buyer. I want to cancel the order. The next day, the buyer, same person, buys it again. I get the little thing there paid. I got the cha-ching and all that stuff. They're all paid, right? Okay. So the buyer does that, right? I want to cancel it. I even messaged the buyer. I said, this is the second time you did this to me. I said, every time you do this, the watches drop off, and I got to start all over again. So I called eBay up, and I told them, explained the story to them, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know, you get pissed off or annoyed, but I was annoyed. Because first, I was happy at one point. I said, well, I was willing to accept the offer from the buyer. I accepted it. Lower than what it was. The buyer decides a minute later, I'm going to cancel it. He cancels, I give the okay, it's done. You're canceled. The next day, I hear the cha-ching again. I look and who is it? It's that same guy again. I was pissed. I'll be honest with you. I'm a very passive person, but I was pissed. And the reason why I was pissed is because the guy did it to me twice. Okay, now, as you can see, it has only one watch on it. When I either had 3 or 4. It's a big deal. 3 watches, 1 watch, at least you have something. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point of the matter is, if you're a buyer and you're thinking about making a purchase of something, do your research. Don't be too quick to click the button there. I love to have you as a buyer. I love to make a sale from you. But if you're going to be indecisive, or you're indecision with things, go to another seller and do it. Drive that person crazy. Don't drive me crazy, okay? I want to get rid of these things. I'm trying to liquidate these things, and not because they're damaged, they're broken, or ugly, or anything like that. I just want to get rid of them. I want to get my new inventory up. I got a whole bunch of, I'm looking at the desk over here, I got a whole bunch of eyeglass cases I want to put up. I want to list them. Okay? I'm trying to get away from certain items. Not because there's anything wrong with them. I just want to replenish with new different things. And when you get a buyer that's indecisive like that, they don't know what they want, last minute, it messes me up. And that could hold you back. That could kind of like hamper your business if you get enough to do. All right, so far I think out of the whole time I've been doing this, I think I had maybe 2 people that canceled or that bought and canceled, or maybe 3. But they did it that one time. This guy did it twice to me. So I normally wouldn't. I on my other videos I said this. I normally wouldn't block a buyer, but I called eBay up and I told them block the buyer, and that's the way I feel about it. If you're going to do things like that, where you're not sure of something, do your research. Look, I upgraded my printer. Matter of fact, the printer I'm selling, I don't know if it's over here, it's probably the next page. It's the Brother HL2270DW. Nice printer. It's a good printer. Used it. Works really good. The only thing is when it goes on, when it prints, it makes a noise. It has like a noise it makes, but it works perfect. It prints good. It does everything what a normal printer should do. And I was looking for a toner cartridge for this printer, and I went up and down. I looked maybe a couple pages, and I did look for a seller that was pretty much either top rated, or if not top rated, but 100% has 100% feedback. I think I said this in my other videos, and I'm not saying in a bad way, but I always look, when I see even a top rated seller, when I have a 98, 98.9 or 99 point whatever, 6.5, whatever, I go to the negatives and I want to see what the buyers are complaining about when they bought from that particular site. And I would expect people to do the same for me. I'm not excluding myself out of this. I'm including myself in that same situation. If I had negatives, I would expect buyers, potential buyers, to look at my negatives, go to my feedbacks and look at my negatives and see what are the buyers upset about. What didn't I not do right where they, are complaining about, the service. Was it not packaged right? Was it the wrong item? Was it defective? Was it whatever the case may be? I'm including in that. Okay, so I don't want any salesman to say, "Who's this guy? He's over there. Sounds like he's bad mouth." No, I'm not bad mouth. I'm part of that too. I'm not excluding myself. But I did do my due diligence. I did look at some sellers. I'm not mentioning nobody's name. I'm not going to make it noted in the eBay world. But I noticed a couple of sellers, top-rated sellers, that had 100%, they're top-rated sellers, but they had 99 or 98. Apparently, you could still maintain that top-rated seller status even if you're not 100%, from what I see. So I looked at some of the sellers that were top-rated. First I looked at the cartridges, because this is the HP LaserJet P2055DN. So what I was doing is I was looking at the cartridges. I'm only going to get one, of course, because I like to always keep a fresh one. This one has a cartridge, but I want to keep a fresh one on hand. So even you say, well, it's just a tone card. What difference does it make if the guy's got 20% feedback or whatever? It's a toner cartridge, I know, but I like to read what other people have to say, and I'm glad I did, because some of the people that were selling toner cartridges, people had problems with them. Defective cartridge, doesn't work right, didn't print right, this, that, and the other thing. You might say, well, maybe those people don't know how to use it. Maybe they just got, maybe they just have a bad luck one, whatever. I don't know what the case is. All I know is I didn't buy from that person. I seen too many negatives pertaining to cartridges, and I said, I'm not buying from this person. I went to the person that had 100% feedback. I read some of the feedback, what people left, the remarks, what do you call it, the replies. Happy with the person, happy with the item they bought, whatever. So, needless to say, I purchased the toner cartridge from that person. But that's me. I'm not saying that's for everybody. And let me tell you something. Whether you're a top-rate seller or not, or if you have 75% feedback or 65%, people are still going to buy from you. I probably won't be the person that will be the one giving the business to, because I want to deal with somebody that's going to have, semi good reputation, and I'm going to get good service. I'm not going to, people, believe me, I'm not. But that's just my personal preference. That's how I like to that's how I like to buy. And the point I'm getting at, long drawn point, is for buyers who go out and buy stuff on eBay, do your research. If you're afraid that, you want to keep me on your watch list, that's fine. That's fine. Go out and research. Research. Check 100, 1,000, whatever you want to do. If you feel I'm in between that little cloud, that little mixture over there, and you feel like if I buy from him, meaning me, I'm going to get a good deal, then go for it. But please, the buyer, when he messaged me back, I told him, he goes, well, I seen one cheaper. Why did you buy it then? Why did you even make the offer? I originally had it up for $200. Okay? So I went a lot cheaper to unload it, thinking this buyer was going to buy it, but apparently it didn't work out that way. So the point I'm getting across is, for buyers out there, I love to have yous, buy from me. I do the sneak peek videos, demo videos, intro videos for the potential buyers, to help you out, make a better buying decision, to show you the items that that they're working, the flaws I point out, if they're scratched, damaged, whatever the case may be. I do that for you guys to give you peace of mind, and not only that, you get to meet the seller. You know who you're dealing with. Okay, so that's why I do these videos. They're time consuming. They're a lot to edit. I did one yesterday, the sneak peek, and I do the special effects, not special effects. I put the different backgrounds in there, and it took almost that sneak peek video. I don't know, was it 20 minutes long or whatever it was? It almost took almost an hour and a half to upload it. Something ridiculous like that. But it takes time to do these videos. But all I'm saying is, with buyers, if you're going to buy something, do your research. Listen, when you're buying a new car, don't you read consumers reports, Consumer Digest? Don't you want to read up on that particular car, see what the pros and cons are, what people are saying about it, the people that own the cars versus the people that don't own, they're just looking, whatever. Don't you want to know what it's all about? Don't you want to see what other people have to say about that item? And I can't express this enough, folks. And I say this a couple times in my videos. When it comes to buying, even from me, even though I'm top rated, whatever, 100% positive feedback, read my feedbacks first. People may say, I don't need to, because there's no need to. If you got what I like what I see, as far as like, you're top rated, you're 100%, but just read them anyway. Just read maybe a page, whatever, 10, 15 of them. Just see what other people have to say before you make that initiative to buy from me. That's all I'm asking you. That's all I'm asking you. Just make it, just scroll down a couple of pages maybe, or maybe one page, and just look what other buyers have to say. And you decide for yourself. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Like I said again, I'm trying to do the right thing by people. I'm an honest seller. If something is not working, I'm going to tell you it's not working. If something is being sold for parts, I'm going to tell you I'm selling it for parts. I'm not here to try to, sell you an item that's defective and try to sugarcoat it or mask it in any way. If it's got fade spots, it's got chips, dents, things, whatever it's on there, I'm going to let you know. Some people may say, well, that's too much information you're giving out, Just send it to the buyer and hope, and keep your fingers crossed the buyer will not notice it or the buyer will accept it. No, I'm giving you a heads up. I'm telling you beforehand. I don't want no surprise. I don't want you to be surprised. If I'm selling you, like I got a whole bunch of eyeglass cases. Like this one here is a Marc Jacobs. I'm not going to sit there. If this thing was ratty inside, which it's not, but if this thing was ratty inside, I just took a picture, threw it up there, and you're looking and you say, oh my God, that thing's all scratched, ripped. It's cracked in here. This thing's disgusting. What's going to happen? You're going to send it back to me, and you're probably going to leave me a big fat negative, and I deserve it, saying not as described. And then you would put your negative saying, oh, the person sold me this thing, said it was in good condition. When I got it, the thing was all ripped up inside. It was damaged. I wouldn't expect anybody to be happy with the service like that. I know I wouldn't. So that's all I'm saying, with buyers. That's what I'm trying to say. In a case, I'm not saying all cases, but if you get enough buyers to do stuff like that, I don't know how many other people experience that, but if you get enough people that experience things like that, they're buying it, then they cancel the buying. No, that happens. I've done it. I think I might have, like I said, I might have done it twice in my whole time. I might have done stuff like that, where I ordered something and I canceled it out because I seen it cheaper. Okay? We all make mistakes, but you learn from them. That's the whole thing. That's the whole premise behind it. You learn from your mistakes. You don't keep making the same things over and over again. But anyway, guys, that's the story with that there. I just wanted to throw that in there in regards to the buyers. I never really. This is the first time I blocked a buyer. The reason why I blocked the buyer is because I didn't want to deal with that person again. If they're like that now and they buy from me again, it could happen later on. Sometime later on in the future it could happen. I don't want. You might say, well, what's the big deal? It happens. I know it sounds petty, but I was too annoyed yesterday. Maybe sometime I might have to think about it. I'll change my mind. But for the most part, I can't have people like that, buying from me like that. I'm sorry, I can't do that. But this video basically is about receiving the active content alerts or immediate requests from eBay. So like I said again, there's nothing to get upset about. Well, I'm not saying not to get upset. You probably will. When I seen it, I was taken back by saying, "Oh, geez, what are they going to?" I'm thinking to myself, "Are they going to suspend my account? What's going to happen here? Are they going to take my listings down?" It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to catch up on, but you do what you got to do. It's their platform, and we have to work it out. You got to work it out. That's all I can say. You just got to grin and bear it and say, okay, this is what's got to be done. This is what's required, and that's it. If you don't like it, then you go to another website. Go to Amazon, Bonanza. Although Bonanza has been pretty much for me dead as a doornail. I haven't had any really sales from Bonanza in a long time. Quite some time. That's why when people talk about it, they say just as good as eBay. That's another statement. I don't know about that there. I don't think. Although I would like to see, eBay have a competitor like that. Well, they do. They have Amazon, but I would like to see another player in the field, in the game here, in regards to a selling platform, which they are. You can sell it, but to be honest with you, I haven't. If I was to depend on Amazon, Bonanza to make a living off it, it would be. There is no living. Not for me, not for the stuff I'm selling, and not for the amount of items I sell on that I got from Bonanza. I think since the time I've been with them, I only sold 10 items. That's not saying much. And the only thing is I heard with Bonanza is that in order if you wanted to go, like, I guess if you want to get that exposure, you gotta like go into their higher premium package, whatever it is, however it works. So you got to look at it, get different tiers, and if you do that, you get something for that there. Supposedly you'll be in better search results and all that other nonsense. And I am not one to get involved with monthly bills. Matter of fact, I just got a big monthly bill from eBay, and that's why if people would wonder why I'd be annoyed. This printer, if I could sell it for this price, would be big help. Okay, because I got a nice juicy bill from eBay, and like I said again, it takes money to make money, and you, like I said, if you want to advertise on their website, do listings on their website and sell, you got to pay the piper, so to speak. That's the case. And that's the thing. That's why when I seen this, he had 3 on here, three people watching it. I'm assuming, I know what they say about assuming, but I'm thinking, well, eventually someone's going to buy it. One of these 3 people are going to buy it. They're watching it, I would hope, unless it's another seller or 3 sellers looking to see if I sell it for that price, and then they could make a price point for them. I'm sure that happens, and I'm sure there's quite a few people out there that say, yeah, I do agree with you. A lot of people do that. They're sellers and buyers. A buyer might pick up one of these printers and say, hey, let's see what this guy's selling it for. Let's see if he gets that price for it. Then I know how to work. I could work a profit margin down on mine. I can get a price point on mine. Hey, I've done it myself. Not all, but there might be certain items that I might watch another buyer, a seller, to see what they're selling it for. And let's face the facts. Everybody, I'm sure, is doing it. Everybody's watching everybody else's items being sold. Which reminds me of when I go to the thrift store. It's a crazy world in there. I go there sometimes on a weekly basis, sometimes off week. It depends. I go there when they had the half off sales, basically. And the most crazy, ironic thing you see there is people walking around with their cell phones up and down the aisles. It's sickening. And you might say, well, you're probably one of the same. I do, but I'm just saying how it evolved like that. People would go to thrift stores basically to buy certain items. Thrift stores back in the day, you would go there to get good buys, good deals. And today, it's like a meat market in there. You go into a thrift store, and when they have the half off, it's like bumper to bumper people in there. And I get there maybe an hour later, and you see people coming out with their shopping carts filled to the top. 2 shopping carts. This is one person buying 2 shopping carts full of clothes. But not everybody that's in there is an eBay seller either. They're most likely people that buying the clothes because they want them. And that's the way it is. That's just the way it works. But it's sickening because you go in there and you got all these people doing the same thing. And it's getting worse in the sense that more and more people are joining in on the bandwagon, and it makes it a little more difficult because what you're selling, 1,000 other people are probably selling. And that's why when I hear people, like I follow one seller, he said, I had this on eBay for 14 months. 14 months. I said, I could never deal with that, but I'm talking. I should talk. I got one, like I said, that printer's been almost on for a year. And now, because the buyer's indecisiveness that he didn't know what to buy, him or her didn't know what to buy, whether they wanted or not, just bumped me right back to the starting all over again. Now I gotta wait and see if somebody's gonna be interested in it. Now I gotta start all over again. So that's what I'm trying to say in regards to buyers hampering your business, because I'm not saying it happens all. I'm not saying I had 20 of them. Some people may say, well, what are you complaining about one? I'm just trying to say that one sale if you know where I'm coming from, that one sale could help pay a bill. Okay? So that's what I'm trying to say. Like the bigger items, like the ones that are like over $100, those are the ones I'm concerned about, because those are the ones that help pay the bills. Okay? And when you get a person like that doesn't do their research, and they just come across and then on top of it, you can see it says best offer. I accepted the best offer. And then a minute later, the person's canceling it out. Can you please cancel? Okay, click, got canceled. Next day goes by, cha-ching. I look at it, it's the same person again. And then in the same message, the same thing, the same it was like ditto. He purchased it, her, and then they said a minute later, can you cancel it? It's like, what is this here? What is this? Some kind of a game we're playing here? I'm not saying people ain't human. We all make mistakes, but twice? Come on now. What was that old saying there? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Come on. I mean, let's get with the program. Do your research. Do your research before you hit that button. All it does is create problems. This is only one. But like I said, if I could have sold it, that would have been a big help. I think a lot of people may know where I'm coming from when I'm talking about things like this here. Okay? Anyway, that's the deal. In regards to the active content, those when you get the immediate action required, don't panic, don't freak out. You know what you got to do. You've seen, I went through it really quick. The other thing there is with the hyperlinks, if you have templates like I have, like this template again, just showing you, if you do use any of these things, these free logos, and you're going to put them in let's say you have a pre-made template, right click it, and if it has a hyperlink in there, remove the hyperlink, because now that makes it an active content. And that means if people click onto it, they're going to take you off of eBay site, and that is prohibited by eBay. They do not want you to they don't want you going off site. It's not, eBay is not a selling platform for you to use their mega website there to for your own benefit, profit and gain, so to speak. So make sure that if you do things like that, you remove the hyperlink on there. Okay, if you're going to get, like I said, I got those free logos from a thing I just typed in, free logos, USPS logos, and apparently it had the hyperlink picture in there. It had the picture in it, but it had the hyperlink attached to it. So yes, was I wrong there with that? Was eBay, was eBay picked on me? No, they deciphered their algorithm, picked up an active hyperlink, and those are the things that need to be corrected. So that's it. Do I have my work cut out for me? Absolutely. Is it going to take me a long time? You know it. But you know what? You can't let things like that hamper your business. I made a couple sales this week. Business is kind of slow. People tell you all the time, first it's the summer, then it's after the holidays. I'll be honest with you, it's been slow, period. I don't care what anybody tells me. I can't remember doing this since I've been doing this here for a little over a year and a half now, well, a year and 2-3 months now. I can't really honestly say that I've been busy every day having 4 or 5 orders a day going out. And that's the other thing when it comes to sourcing. You hear on the eBay radio, that they say statistics show that the more you keep listing, you go higher up in the search. Listen, let me tell you something. In retailing, I was going to college for retailing, and they had a thing called FIFO and LIFO. First in, first out, last in, first out. Get rid of the stuff you have before you keep buying more inventory, because I'll be honest with you, if you got a couple $1,000s or a couple hundreds of dollars or hundreds of dollars wrapped up in your sourcing in your inventory, and it's not moving anywhere, and you got that monthly bill coming in, okay, and you're not making any sales, especially using eBay as a full-time business, you got no money coming in. You might want to hold on to that money to pay that bill, okay? Unless you're going to tell your creditors, listen, I can't pay you this month because I didn't make any sales on eBay. You know what they're going to tell you? Hey, that's not my problem. Go out and hustle, go get another job or 2 jobs or whatever, and do eBay on the side. But they don't want to hear your problems, and that's why I want to hear people saying, "Oh, you got to source every day. You got to go out every day and source. You got to keep sourcing for more material, more object, more merchandise." And here's the other problem: where do you store all this stuff? If you have a certain facility, a storage facility, okay, and people tell you go out and buy all this stuff every day you got to source every day, you got to list every day. first off, where's all this money coming from? Unless you got plenty of cash put aside, where's all this money coming from? That's number one. Number two, where are you storing it? And number three, are you selling any of it? So if you go out and say, I'm going to blow $1,000 and I'm going to get $1,000 worth of merchandise, and you come home with 200-300 items, whatever it be, small little things, whatever. Like I have a whole bunch of eyeglass cases here. Okay, you know, you go out and blow all that money on these things. You buy all this stuff, keep buying. Where do you store it? Do you offload it to another storage facility? And can you afford that other storage facility? Are you making that much where you could actually afford it? You know, people don't think like that. People think, you know, they're thinking out of the box. You really got to really sit down with pen and paper and figure out your monthly expenses, your income per debt ratio, and see if you got enough money to survive on this year. Okay, and if you got a lot of credit card debt, and you're making money not to pay those loans down, but to make money and go out and buy more stuff with it, you're going to come out losing in the end. You're never going to get ahead. And I think I said it once before in my videos. If you're going to go into this business, go in with as least debt as possible. Okay. If you got credit cards, get rid of your credit cards. Wipe out a lot of your credit cards. Maybe keep one or two, if that, with low minimum balances on it, you know, credit lines. But don't go into it. Don't go into this business with a lot of debt and say I'm going to go full time. And you're living paycheck to paycheck. And with eBay, they may not be paycheck to paycheck. I'm sorry to say it, because you're not making enough money to pay those bills at the end of the month. That's scary stuff, especially if you got a lot of bills. So you might really want to, you know, think your strategy out when it comes to that. And furthermore, don't quit your day job just yet. Okay, this is not all, you know, fame and glory here. It's a lot of work. Okay, and I've only been doing this, like I said, a year and 3 months or whatever. And let me tell you, you know, I'm getting by. Okay, but you know, it's not something to write home about. Okay, I'm not going to be the next Warren Buffett or Bill Gates, so to speak. All right, I think a lot of sellers out there would like to get to a nice income level where they could say, hey, you know, I did it, I struggled, I did a lot, you know, I strived, I persevered, and I got to where I got to be. But you know, the bottom line is, you know, are you making a living, or is this going to be, you know, just a hobby? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, people might say, what's your story? My story is, like I said, back in June of 2016, I got laid off my company. In between looking for jobs, which hardly any ones out there I was looking for were for me, I figured, let me take a shot at this. I've always something I always wanted to do. I love it. I love doing the videos. I love the business. But, you know, when push comes to shove, if you're not making enough income to support yourself, then you got to re-strategize yourself. And that may be you got to reverse the tide, so to speak. You know, where this was your full-time income, maybe it will be your part-time income. You want to get a 9-to-5 job. I really don't want to go that route. Okay? Going through 2 layoffs and 1 company bankruptcy, I struck out 3 times with companies. Not on my behalf, not because of something I did. The companies had layoffs. 1 company went bankrupt. So it's not my fault. I didn't do anything to say, well, maybe you did something to put yourself, or you made yourself unemployed. No, I did not. That's the thing. And all in all, I was hoping to retire at one of those companies. Okay, the last one I worked at, I was hoping to retire at it. I've been there for 8 years. Nice perks, pension, nice, decent salary. I was hoping to retire there. Retirement didn't come that way. Okay, over 1,000 people got retired, if you know what I mean. All the jobs got outsourced overseas. And that's another story. I'm not going to even get into that. Okay, that's why I said that's another problem today in the history of the jobs. They're going away, outsourcing here and there and everywhere. You know, we need the jobs here. Now, if people said, if you didn't get laid off, would you still be doing eBay? Oh, absolutely. I love eBay. I love what I do. Okay, but I kind of like got propelled into doing this here. You know what I'm saying? When I got laid off from my job, I got like, hey, what am I going to do now? Let me seek my passion out. This is my passion. They always say, do what you love to do and the money will follow. You know, And the most important thing to leave you guys with a note, I'm sure you notice already, that listen to a lot of these entrepreneurs, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, from Facebook, Warren Buffett, a lot of them will tell you, well, the ones I heard anyway, perseverance. Perseverance is what you got to do. You got to stay with it. You can't let your failures hold you back. If anything, you learn from your mistakes and move on. Don't dwell on them. That's the bottom line. There's no ifs, ands, or buts with it. You go into this business and you hope to make a go out of it. Some people do, some people don't. Some people try for a while and they say, I'm not getting anywhere, and they give up. But always remember one thing: quitting is the easiest things to do. It's the easiest thing to do. Anybody could quit. It's striving to get to that point in life where you want to be. Okay? I tell this to my daughters all the time. They're going to college and stuff like that. Oh, Dad, it's so hard, this, that, and everything. I say, it's okay, though. It'll all pay off in the end, in the long run. When you get that master's or bachelor's degree, hopefully it'll all pay off. Okay? And that's how I look at it. And you gotta strive for something you want in life. Nothing's gonna come easy. Don't think people think I go into this business and they think like, oh well, I'll start this business here and I'm gonna be able to retire when I'm 65. I'm gonna live very carefree. Listen, when you're doing this type of business for yourself, folks, you are the business. I'm solo. I'm a solo person here. I do this here solo. So for me, if I need help, my family help me out, my kids help me out and stuff. But right now I'm doing this. This is my venture, not theirs. Okay. So my take on it is, I'm going to try to do what I'm going to try to work this business the best I can. Try to build a good customer base. If it's not through eBay helping me out and it's through another selling platform, whatever it may be, eBay could use it. It could be a stepping stone too. You don't have to be on eBay for the rest of your life either. There have been some stories where people had used eBay. They started off with eBay, and they went off on their own. They branched off. I heard stories like that too. Where they start off selling eBay and the business becomes really big, and they go off eBay. They get off that platform. They do their own thing. Far and few in between, but they do. So eBay could be a platform for you to start. And remember the other thing too. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. Never put yourself down and say you can't. And you don't want to be one of these people that say I should have, could have, would have. Life is short. And I always tell my kids, friends, family, whatever, if we had a life expectancy up to 100 years old, in my case, my life is more than half over because I'm in my late 50s. Think about it. If you don't take that strive and say, there's something I always wanted to do in my life, and go out and search for that item, that particular passion, you're going to grow old, and you're going to tell your grandchildren or whatever, your kids, when you're very old, and say, you know what, I'm so sorry I didn't do this, that, or the other thing. I'm sorry I didn't live out my passion. I'm sorry I didn't do the things I wanted to do in my younger years. Remember, every time that clock keeps ticking by, every minute goes by, hour goes by, second goes by, you're never going to gain it back again. So my thing is to a lot of people that are looking to seek out their passions or their dreams and all, do it while you're relatively young. You still got your faculty, you can still think straight, whatever. And make the best of it. That's why they say you do what you love to do and the money will follow. Hopefully. Some people may do it and the money may never follow, but I'm not saying to be a pessimist. I'm an optimist. Okay? What does they say? Think like a pessimist and work like an optimist or something like that. I have a saying like that there. I'm an optimist. I always think ahead of myself. I always think I'm going to do better. And like I said again, things happen for a reason in life. Maybe by me getting laid off from my company, back in 2016, maybe this will be my time now. Maybe I can live out my passion. Sometimes you got to be pushed into something. You need a little push. So I just was listening to eBay. Was it eBay Radio? No, I was watching Shark Tank, and some guy went on there, and he said he worked for a company. I don't know if it was Nike or one of those big sneaker companies. Was it? One I forget. It was on Shark Tank. And the guy goes, yeah, I was working there because I loved the job. I was hoping to retire there, whatever. I had good benefits. Same thing like me. He goes, and I got laid off. And he goes, I want to start my own business. And he's persevering. He's going to do it. He didn't get it. I don't think he didn't get a deal. This guy, as far as I know, he didn't get a deal. But he's going to still do it. But when I heard his story, I could relate to it. I said to myself, ditto, man. That guy went through the same thing I went through. The only thing is he got on Shark Tank. I didn't, but I don't have enough experience, or I don't have that particular. I'm not in a particular situation. I can't where I'd actually go on TV and cast the give the spiel, the business spiel, because I don't have that type of thing right now. I don't have an invention as far as that goes. Whatever. These people come in with inventing things and stuff. I'm not in that situation. But the only thing I can relate to was with that gentleman was that he said he got laid off and this was his time, and he wants a perseverance is what's keeping him going. And that's why I watch Shark Tank. It encourages you, it gives you a little insight, and it shows you the true entrepreneurs that are, well, as Mark Cuban would say, the entrepreneurs. There's entrepreneurs and there's entrepreneurs. To me, I don't buy the entrepreneurs. Everybody has an entrepreneurial, I think, has an entrepreneurial spirit within them. I think we could all sell things if we really wanted to, or find our passions. So, that's his saying, and I'm not knocking him. I like all the cast on that there, all the entrepreneur sharks on there. But I'm just saying in regards to entrepreneur, yeah. But I guess you might say there might be some validity. Some people say, I want to be an entrepreneur, you don't do anything. I guess you can say something like that. But me, I don't want to take it a positive and turn it into a negative. If you ever watched the movie Henry Ford, The Man and the Machine, when his son was talking about a company closing up, and I remember he said, oh yeah, what should we do? They're closing up. I think it was Ken Mills. They had presses and stuff like that. And he said, we got a problem. He's telling Henry, and Henry's like, son, why do you always look at a problem? He goes, you got to look at a problem as a disguise, something in disguise, blessing in disguise. It's kind of something along that line there, an opportunity in disguise. Because the son's like saying, well, if they close it down, we're going to lose, we're going to lose business or whatever. And he said, no, he told his son, Netzel, to buy Ken Mills, send those presses over. He said, buy those presses and send them over here. He goes, we could use them. And, but that's what he said. But like he said, don't look at it as a problem. Look at it as an opportunity in disguise. And in the movie, that's what he did. For some people who, whether you like Henry Ford or not, I like the movie. It's called Henry Ford, The Man and the Machine. That's with, oh boy, I can't think of his name. Oh man, the guy who played the part there. Cliff Robinson played Henry Ford. It's a good movie. I like it. It's a documentary. It's supposed to be based on true stories. Somebody thinks it's supposed to be based on truth. And I like it. But that's why I watch shows like that. But anyway, enough rambling on. Guys, have a great weekend. I just wanted to share this with you guys. So take care. Have a great day. And to those sellers out there, I wish you all the best. And to all the buyers out there, just do a little more, be a little more diligent in doing your research before you buy things and decide later on you want to cancel it. I'm not trying to be mean or cute, make a joke out of it, but no, really, just do your research before you decide to hit that little, buy button. Thanks again, guys. Talk to you next video. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.